Welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into the world of Tony Chopper today.
Oh, Chopper.
Yeah, the doctor of the Straw Hats. You guys have sent in a ton of awesome stuff.
I know, right? Articles, discussions, notes.
All about Chopper. And we're going to put it all together.
It's going to be great.
See what makes this character tick.
You know, he's usually seen as cute and funny.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But his story, it gets deep.
Deeper than you'd think.
Identity, belonging, family.
All that wrapped up in a little blue-nosed reindeer.
Exactly.
So where do we even begin with a character like Chopper?
Well, you got to start at the beginning.
Okay, the origin story.
He's not just any reindeer.
Right, he ate the human fruit.
One of those devil fruits.
Oh, for anyone new to One Piece.
Devil fruits. They give you crazy powers.
But there's a catch.
You can't swim anymore.
It's a classic trade-off.
Big power, big price.
Exactly.
And for Chopper, it's ironic.
How so?
He becomes more human.
Right.
But then both reindeer and dehumans reject him.
Oh,
Doesn't fit in anywhere.
rejected by both sides.
Imagine that. An identity crisis for sure.
It makes you think about other groups in One Piece.
Oh, yeah, like the fishmen.
Half fish, half human.
Or the giants.
People are afraid of them.
Just because they're different.
And Chopper's blue nose.
Yeah.
It sets him apart.
It symbolizes his difference.
And the challenges he faces.
And that's where Dr. Heerlick comes in, right?
Dr. Heroic, the quack doctor.
But he saw something in Chopper.
That others didn't.
Yeah, maybe not the best doctor.
Questionable methods.
But his heart was in the right place.
Definitely a father figure for Chopper.
He accepted him, you know,
Completely.
and got him passionate about medicine.
About healing, helping others.
Making a difference.
Like a classic hero's origin story, but with a twist.
Right,
Instead of a spider bite, it's a quack doctor.
but with a heart of gold.
Yeah, and it's hard not to feel for Chopper when Heroic dies.
Such a sad moment.
It's like that loss pushes him to become a great doctor.
He wants to carry on that legacy.
In a more scientific way, maybe?
Yeah, it makes him complex.
Definitely.
He's got this purpose, this drive.
To cure any disease.
We see it throughout his adventures.
When he's not this perfect, serious hero.
No, not at all.
He's got this childlike side to him.
Endearing, naive.
He's the cotton candy lover, right?
Exactly.
Remember when Nami tricked him?
Oh, with that mushroom?
Said it was a rare delicacy.
And it was poisonous.
He falls for things so easily.
But it shows his innocence.
He sees the best in everyone.
Even when they don't deserve it.
Makes sense, given his past.
Craves validation, affection.
After all that rejection.
That's why he gets so upset about the Tanuki thing.
The Tanuki thing.
When people mistake him for a raccoon dog.
Instead of a reindeer.
Yeah, his outbursts. I'm a reindeer, not a Tanuki.
So funny.
But also kind of sad.
He just wants to be recognized.
For who he truly is.
Not just his appearance.
Hey, I'm more than just cute.
Right. I have skills, I'm valuable.
Exactly.
Which brings us to his medical expertise.
Oh yeah, he's a brilliant doctor.
Underneath all that fluff,
It's not just about bandages and stuff.
he really understands medicine.
Surgery, pharmacology, the whole deal.
You see it in how he diagnoses, treats.
He even creates his own remedies.
Remember on Drum Island?
He learned from Dr. Correa.
Natural ingredients, traditional methods,
It's not just textbook knowledge.
a mix of old and new.
And he's always learning, growing.
Not afraid to experiment.
Remember the antidote on Punk Hazard?
Oh, for those kids Caesar experimented on?
That was impressive.
Punk Hazard was intense.
It really showed Chopper's skill.
His dedication.
He wasn't just treating their bodies.
He's comforting them, giving them hope.
A true healer.
Speaking of intense, how will the live-action One Piece show handle Chopper?
Oh, his appearance.
Yeah, and his transformations.
It's going to be tough.
People are curious about it.
They're trying to keep things consistent.
With the practical effects,
But Chopper is tricky.
adorable and a little weird.
Too much CGI, and it loses that real-world feel.
But only practical effects might limit him.
Especially the transformations.
It's a balancing act.
And it's not just about how he looks.
Right.
It's about capturing his character.
That mix of vulnerability and strength.
The innocence and wisdom.
A tough job, but I hear the creature designer is up for it.
Jocko Snyman.
Yeah. He's hinted at different approaches.
People are excited and nervous.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Me too.
I think they'll capturing well. All that blue-nose glory.
The key is staying true to his character.
That heart, humor, and healing.
That makes him so loved.
So we've talked origins, personality, the live-action challenge,
It's a lot.
but there's still more to explore.
Oh yeah, much more. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're continuing our exploration of Tony Chopper.
Still diving deep into Chopper.
This time, we're going to look at some of his most memorable moments.
Those scenes that really stick with you.
Even in a huge story like One Piece.
There are some that just stand out.
They show us how Chopper grows, how strong he is.
The depth of his character.
Yeah. So what scene pops into your head first when you think about Chopper's development? That's a good question.
There are so many to choose from.
But I think it has to be that scene on the Going Merry.
After he joins the crew.
Yeah, he's looking out at the sea, just overwhelmed with emotion.
He finally found a place where he belongs.
Acceptance, pure joy.
You could just feel it.
Remember, he's crying tears of joy.
Such a powerful moment.
Especially compared to how lonely he was on Drum Island.
Before he met Luffy and the others.
It really shows how much they changed his life.
How accepting they were.
They didn't see a monster.
Just a friend, a crewmate.
It's like finding your tribe, healing old wounds.
Opening up new possibilities.
A lot of fans can relate to that.
Feeling like an outsider.
Struggling to find your place.
Chopper shows us it's possible.
You can find acceptance in the most unexpected ways.
And once Chopper feels that belonging.
He really starts to shine.
As a doctor, as a crewmate.
He goes from timid to brave.
Willing to fight for his friends.
Pushing his limits.
Which reminds me of his fight against Kumadori.
Oh, yeah, during Eni's lobby.
Total David and Goliath situation.
Kumadori was so strong.
Even for Chopper and Heavy Point.
But Chopper wouldn't give up.
He was determined to protect his friends.
Just prove himself.
And that led him to use the Rumble Ball.
Risky move.
More powerful transformations.
But dangerous side effects.
He knew the risks, but he did it anyway.
For his crew.
Such a different Chopper from the beginning.
Back then, he was afraid of his power.
Doubted himself.
But against Kumadori.
He embraced it fully.
Even the monstrous side.
And when he finally unleashes Monster Point.
Wow.
Takes down Kumadori.
So awesome.
It's a visual spectacle.
But it's more than that.
It's about his inner strength.
His growth as a fighter.
His loyalty.
That's what makes it so memorable.
Definitely a cheer-worthy moment.
But Chopper's growth isn't just about physical strength.
Right, it's about teamwork.
Understanding others.
His strengths, their weaknesses.
And his relationship with Zoro is a great example.
Oh, Zoro.
They had a rough start, those two.
Zoro kept mistaking him for a Tanuki.
Treating him like a pet.
Drove Chopper nuts.
Remember that scene in Alabasta?
When Zoro picks up Chopper instead of water.
I'm not emergency food supply.
Classic Chopper line.
So funny.
But over time, things changed.
Zoro started respecting Chopper.
His skills as a doctor.
They developed this weird camaraderie.
It's subtle, but it's there.
Little moments where Zoro looks out for him.
Defends him, acknowledges his strength.
And Chopper does the same for Zoro.
He sees Zoro's loyalty and courage.
Even if Zoro doesn't always show it.
Think about Thriller Bark.
When Zoro took on all of Luffy's pain.
To protect the crew.
Chopper was devastated.
But he saw how much Zoro sacrificed.
That's how their bond grows. Shared experiences.
Challenges they overcome together.
They learn to appreciate each other.
Even if they don't always say it.
It reflects a bigger theme in One Piece.
The Straw Hats' bonds.
Constantly evolving.
Growing stronger through everything.
It's not always easy.
But they always have each other's backs.
And speaking of challenges, let's talk about Punk Hazard.
Oh yeah, tough arc.
Harrowing for everyone.
But it showed Chopper's compassion.
And his skills.
In a new light.
The situation was awful.
Children experimented on.
A deadly virus.
So much danger.
But Chopper jumped right in.
Used all his knowledge to help.
Putting himself at risk.
He didn't just focus on the physical stuff.
He comforted those kids.
Who were traumatized by Caesar. It shows his empathy.
He knows what it's like to be ostracized.
To be different, treated like a monster.
And he uses that understanding to help others.
Who are suffering.
And he stands up for what's right.
Even against powerful enemies.
Like when he called out Caesar Clown.
So powerful.
You could see the rage and sadness.
But also his determination.
To protect the innocent.
It's a reminder that even in a crazy world like One Piece.
There's always room for kindness.
For empathy. For believing in good.
And that's what makes Chopper so compelling.
He's vulnerable, strong, and compassionate.
He can make you laugh and cry.
He shows us that even the smallest person
can make a big difference.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into Chopper,
these moments in mind,
they show how complex he is.
There's always more to discover.
More layers to peel back.
And in the final part,
we'll go even deeper.
Looking at his core values.
And how he sees the world.
See you soon for the grand finale.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've seen Chopper grow so much.
From that scared little reindeer.
To a skilled doctor. a loyal friend.
That's amazing.
Now it's time to go even deeper
Deeper.
into what drives him,
His values, his perspective.
how he sees the world.
Fascinating stuff.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
A reindeer with a heart of gold.
A belief in the power of medicine.
It's more than just treating symptoms.
He wants to cure any disease.
That's a big goal.
Remember his dream. A doctor who can cure any disease.
It's so ambitious.
But he really believes it.
You see it in everything he does.
The way he tackles challenges,
Developing antidotes.
comforting his patients,
He sees potential for healing.
where others see only problems.
Like those kids on Punk Hazard.
Exposed to that virus, those experiments,
Horrible stuff.
most people were focused on damage control.
Containing the problem.
But Chopper wanted to find a cure.
To give those kids a future.
I think his optimism comes from his own experiences.
That's interesting.
He went through so much hardship,
Rejection, loss,
but he never lost hope
hope, and positive change.
and the power of hope to overcome anything.
It's inspiring.
And his hope is connected to his friends,
The Straw Hats.
his found family.
He might be the doctor.
But he needs them just as much as they need him.
It's a two-way street.
Remember when he was struggling with Monster Point?
That transformation was out of control.
It was Zorro who helped him.
Sorrow.
Yeah, that gruff mentor figure.
I guess he does have a soft spot.
He pushed Chopper to control that power.
To use it responsibly.
It shows us that Chopper's values,
They're not formed in a vacuum.
they're shaped by his interactions with the crew.
The trust, the support,
They learn from each other, grow together.
and become better versions of themselves.
A community that fosters growth.
I like that.
And it's not just the crew.
Right.
Chopper's perspective is unique
A reindeer who became human.
through a double fruit.
It lets him see things differently.
Bridge the gap between worlds.
He understands what it's like to be an outsider.
To be judged for your appearance.
To question your identity.
That gives him incredible empathy.
In a world as diverse as One Piece.
He connects with people who are different.
Who are misunderstood.
Reminds me of that saying, be kind, everyone is fighting a hard battle.
That's Chopper in a nutshell.
He doesn't judge, he seeks to understand.
He sees the good in everyone.
Even when it's hidden.
It's like his childlike wonder.
That innocent curiosity.
It becomes a strength.
An open mind. A willingness to learn.
A genuine desire to connect.
It's refreshing, don't you think?
Definitely. In a world that can be so cynical.
We can all learn from Chopper.
To be more curious, more compassionate.
To see the world through other people's eyes.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Chopper,
It's been a journey.
what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember?
I'd say it's the power of a kind heart.
A kind heart.
A curious mind.
And a belief in healing.
For ourselves and for others.
Beautifully said. And remember, this isn't the end of the journey.
There's always more to explore.
Keep questioning, keep discovering.
The wonders of your favorite characters.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. If you enjoyed this episode, like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.
Until next time.